What's going on, everybody? Kyle Powers here with Haven Real Estate Group at eXp Realty. K-State grad, turned contractor, turned real estate agent and investor. Here with another episode of Local Legends of the Flint Hills, where business meets community. I've got Melissa and Stephen Asper here with me with the Doughbro. They're here to tell us a little bit about it. So guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Let's go ahead and start in and tell me a little bit about yourselves, right? I want to know where you came from. Tell me how you ended up in Manhattan. Tell us about the family, things like that.
Yeah, so we both grew up in South Central Kansas, Winfield, Oxford area, and we made our way to Manhattan in 2013. I went to college at K-State. I'm a K-State grad as well, and we had both of our kids by the time I finished college, and we just really liked the idea of raising a family here, and so we stayed. And the kids are 8 and 11 now, and we just love the community, and we're excited to be here.
So a very similar story to most people, so that's awesome. Come to Manhattan, go to K-State, and end up falling in love with the town and staying, so that's awesome. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about then the Doughbro, right? I want to know, I know that I've had the very fortunate pleasure to see you guys kind of start from the start to today, and kind of met you guys before you had actually gone and started into the Doughbro and your previous jobs and things that way. So let's talk about that, right? Let's talk about when you guys were like, okay, I really want to start this, and we really want to get this going. We really want to get and start the Doughbro, and what that really becomes, and where that comes from too.
So basically how it all went down was after Melissa graduated, she got a job at K-State and was working there. I was working currently as a food service director at a preschool here locally. And so we were just going through the motions. We thought we had pretty much arrived to where the goal was at that moment. But I was struggling trying to figure out what to serve a couple of vegan children that I had that would keep them included with everybody else, because what was happening was they were having to have separate meals constantly from everybody else because of dietary restrictions. And so I came to Melissa, who has a huge background with her family with baking and cooking, coming from a huge family. And I asked her, do you have any ideas on what maybe I can make that everybody could have that would be vegan appropriate so that they can feel included at least one time a day? And Melissa was like, yeah, let me sit down and brainstorm. And so Melissa ended up coming up with a muffin recipe that we could bake at least once a week that was vegan appropriate and everybody else would love. And so when she sat down to formulate this recipe, I expected her to take a phone out, research it, figure out what you need. And so she sat down with a piece of paper and started writing ingredients down and then calculating measurements on her own without any kind of research. And I was pretty dumbfounded by that, because I had never been really exposed to somebody being able to create like that, baking wise or cooking. I've only seen people get recipes like from the internet or wherever. And so I kind of shucked it off and was like, there's no way that this is going to work, because you don't just formulate a recipe that nobody else has. And so she was like, well, just have faith, and I was like, all right, we'll try it. And so she baked these muffins, and she was like, take a bite. And I tried them, and they were phenomenal. And I was like blown away. And so I asked her, are you satisfied with where you're at with your job, with your, do you like to sit in a desk? Do you, is that how you want to live? And she was like, honestly, no, I'm not very satisfied with where I am. I feel pretty stuck, and that I'm not really serving as much as I could be. I'm not at my capacity. And so she was looking for more, and I was like, well, you obviously have a clear talent that you could share with everybody, and I don't see why you wouldn't pursue that. And so I kind of gave her a little nudge, and then maybe a month or two after that, after getting legal counsel on LLCs and everything else, we launched our LLC and started doing baking and promotions for family and friends first, and it blew up from there. So,
and I know a lot of it here. So I know you guys kind of started out of your house, you kind of went in that side of it, and then decided to go to a food truck, right? So tell us a little bit about that experience and why you decided to go to, obviously you were growing big enough. You wanted, you had enough demand for what you had, so you wanted to go. Because again, I feel like you guys did the right thing, right? Where you slowly grew to where we are today, which is here at the store, right? And in the Doughbro as we are currently. But tell us a little bit about that journey too, right? Like you guys went through. Melissa, you quit your job. Melissa quit her job. You kind of went through that side of it, and then you started into the food truck and diving into that. So tell us about that experience, what that was like, and how you kind of got rolling into some of that stuff.
So we definitely wanted to baby step the process because this was such just a new idea for us, and it wasn't anything that we had originally put in our long-term plans. We wanted to take it slow because we didn't know if it would work or not. So when we first started the business, we were just operating under cottage laws in our home, and so we were preparing only items that were shelf stable once they were prepared. So cookies, cinnamon rolls, muffins, things like that. And as our name started to get out, then people started asking, what other things can you make? What other things can you produce? And the idea of bierox and sausage rolls came up. And we really wanted to produce those. Legally, we couldn't produce those in our house and sell them. And so we thought, okay, well, we're not quite ready for a commercial space, especially not in a place like Manhattan, but let's give it a shot. And so we decided to kind of go for that halfway step of a food truck. So we purchased just an empty trailer, just an enclosed trailer. And with the help of my brother, the three of us, we built it ourselves. And so we did all of the inside work. We did all the designing, everything for it, got it licensed, and launched the food truck. The timing just happened to work out that the food truck launched right in the middle of the pandemic. But it was kind of a blessing in disguise for us because being a food truck, we were in an enclosed box, and we could go to the customer and hand the food out the window, and there was no risk of exposure, there was no anything. And then we started doing deliveries and drop-offs and things like that to protect our clients, and it really ultimately helped us in our growth. So yeah, then once the business kind of outgrew the food truck and we started doing fundraisers and caterings and all of that, we needed more space. And so we moved into this bigger location for the storage space and the kitchen. And now we hold events and things here. And it was just kind of the natural next step in progression. And yeah, we're really excited to see where it goes from here.
Fantastic. So, and I remember that too, because I remember you guys had your grand opening for the food truck for friends and family and stuff there at your house, and I very much remember that. So, it was awesome. It really has been a really fun journey to watch you guys kind of progress from your home to where we're sitting today, right? It's fantastic. So, talk to us a little bit about. Let's talk about, we're in a restaurant, right? Let's talk about the menu. So talk about the menu. Talk about what your specialties are, what else you can do. Obviously, we know you can do bierox and breakfast food and cookies and bakery and things like that. But I know that you guys have I don't know if you still run that secret menu or not, but I know you have a lot of specialty items that you wouldn't necessarily think about that coming into here that you guys would do. So let's talk about a little bit about that stuff.
So obviously we are an establishment that specializes in dough, hence the name Doughbro. However, we do have an extensive catering menu. We have a lot of clients that like to do taco bars or Italian nights, or maybe they want to do lunch boxes, like take and go lunch boxes that maybe have cold cut sandwiches and pot salad and things like that in there. And so we do have an extensive catering menu. We both come from cooking background, and so we can pretty much put together anything you may want. But what you'll find in the store is mainly your dough-based items, bierox, sausage rolls, biscuits and gravy, cinnamon rolls, and then different types of desserts that are rotational. So yeah.
Perfect. So Now, let's talk a little bit about, I know you guys have a full service kitchen here and stuff too, but let's talk about the process, right? So I'm going to ask for two sides of it, right? If I walk in here today and say, hey, I'm ready to order, what does that process look like, right? Obviously, order, make, whatever, that's fine. But also let's talk about, catering and scheduling parties and things like that, because I know that you guys do a lot of parties and stuff here. What does that look like, right? From the point of we reach out, make contact, to the point of actually having the party. What does that whole process look like? How much planning goes into that? How early should they be doing that? Those kinds of things, and what that looks like.
So if you were to walk into the store, just on any given day, we consider ourselves a quick service cafe. And so what that means is we come in really early to get the doughs prepared and to get items prepared and ready, because we don't deep fry anything that we have. Everything is baked, and so it's a more extended process. And so we start early so that if you were to walk in, we have items ready on hand, ready to go. There are a few items, like you mentioned, the secret menu. There are a few items that we do make to order, but majority of the items that we have, they're ready to go when you walk in. And so it could be as quick of a process as you walk up, tell us what you want, we package it, and then you're on your way to work or to wherever you're headed. And so it can be a really quick process because we've already done all of the work ahead of time. If you're looking for a catering or something more extensive, then we recommend that you reach out early, because we do book up, as do most caterers, most food trucks, most other places that we book up, I would say a month or two in advance probably. For extensive caterings like weddings, things like that, I recommend reaching out way farther in advance than that. I would say 6 months probably, because we want to make sure that we know every detail and everything that you're wanting in order for us to be able to prepare for it and give you the exact experience that you're looking for. It's not, at that point, it's not about what we want, it's about what the client wants. And so we spend the time to talk through, what are your goals? What's your budget? What are you looking for? Does anyone have any allergies? What are the diameters that we need or the parameters, excuse me. What do we need to look at to make sure that this is the perfect process for you? And then we kind of go through that planning process with you. And then as the dates get closer, then, we can confirm numbers. We can confirm, all of the other tiny details from, do you want real plates or do you want disposable plates? And, just all of the little things like that. And then we also have a space here that you can utilize, or we go off-site. And so it just kind of depends on what the goals are. But
That's awesome. And guys, I will tell you too, these two, they have put so much care and so much love into everything that it comes out in their food as well too. It's one of the things that I've really enjoyed about watching them grow is grow as people and grow as a business. Is they have such an extensive line of food that they are services that they're able to give to you guys. And then I know for a fact that, like, my wife, we come in here every time we go somewhere. It's like, hey, we're getting beer rocks from the Doughbro. We got to make sure we get those to make sure we have the breakfast for our families whenever we go to places. So it's fantastic food, absolutely is. So let's talk. Let's see, you've been in business now late 2019, early 2020, right? Yep. So just about 4 years now. And so what services, now that you're kind of into your groove on that side of it, what services do you offer up? Obviously, we did catering and in-store stuff. I know that you guys still run the food truck, still do all that kind of things. And then let's talk about how people can actually get a hold of you as far as that goes too.
Yeah, so we offer a very vast line of services, I would say. The main reason for that is because I want to make our customers' lives easy. I want them to have flexible options. I don't want them to feel like they're strapped into this is your option, take it or leave it. I don't want them to feel like they don't have any say so. And so it's a matter of whenever we talk to a client, what kind of event are you putting on? How do you want the fulfillment? If you're going to do a catered event, do you want to do the catered event here? Do you want to do the catered event off-site? Do you want me to deliver it and set it up in sternos and chafing dishes? Do you want me to bring the food truck and serve it to your clients directly? Do you want me to set up a catering here in the store for you? And so the main focus of what we do is, how do I serve my client, allowing them the most flexibility as possible for their event? And that's what I think our niche is, and what we do really well is really dialing into exactly what the client wants and how to make that delivery as smooth and effortless as possible. In terms of
fundraising too.
Yeah.
Serving,
Yeah. In terms of contacting, obviously, our phone number, which is 620-218-2201, is the best way to contact us. But a lot of people also use Facebook messaging. And so you can just easily search the Doughbro on Facebook and then hit message right there. Send us a message, and we'd love to help you set up any event or catering you may have. And the other service that I haven't talked about is that we do a ton of fundraising for the community. So the reason why we like to do that is because, much like us, people are trying to get started. People are trying to raise money to get something going, or to, progress their group, progress their athletic department, progress whatever their goals are. And the only way that you can do that is by raising funds. And so we give 40% back, no ifs, ands, or buts, no requirements, no minimums. We do cookie doughs, we do take and bake cinnamon rolls, we do all kinds of things. So that's another thing that you can do if you're looking to raise money, is just reach out to us, and we'd love to set that up with you.
And I'll tell you, the cookie dough never makes it to the oven at our house. So just spoonfuls, So, all right, perfect. So I think we'll kind of wrap it up a little bit, but I don't want to end without the name. Tell me a little bit about the name. I know we've talked off camera before how much the name means to you, where that comes from, what that actually is. So I think it would be a disservice if we didn't talk about it here, right? So I want to tell me a little bit about that and where that comes from and why that means so much to you guys.
Okay, so when we started all of this, like Stephen mentioned earlier, we both kind of came from food backgrounds. So when I was growing up, I was constantly in the kitchen with my parents, with my grandparents, with everyone. And so that's what kind of brought on my love for cooking and feeding people and serving. And a lot of our recipes came from my family. So our biscuits and gravy. My dad taught me how to make biscuits, and my grandfather taught me how to make sausage gravy. And he was very adamant about, you need to just load it up with sausage, and, it's a very particular ratio and things like that. The dough that we make our cinnamon rolls from came from my late stepmother. My mom taught us how to make bierox, and so it's very much family oriented. And a thing that a lot of people don't realize or don't know is that the Doughbro is actually a play on words. And so my grandfather that taught us how to make the gravy, and we were constantly at his house when I was growing up, eating and spending time with family and things. He was a musician. And so that's actually his upright bass that's next to us here. But he also played a Doobro, which is a resonator guitar. And so it has a big metal piece in it that gives it a different sound. You play it differently than a normal guitar, things like that. And so the name Doughbro is in honor of him and in honor of just the family and resonating love through everything that we do, and just really serving people. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that story. It's always a good one. So guys, thank you so much for watching these videos today. I cannot say enough good things about these guys and what they're doing here, starting with the fundraisers, starting with what they actually do for our community and what they're able to do with the food truck, bringing things out there. It's been, like I said, again, it's been an amazing time to watch your guys' journey and everything there. I'm really glad to be a part of it too. So I'm really happy to be able to be here and watch you guys do all that. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, this is another episode of Local Legends of the Flint Hills, where business meets community. If you do enjoy these videos and you want to be able to get notified of future things, please go and hit that subscribe button. Go and hit that little bell so you get notified of any future content, and give us that like, because it does help us grow the channel. And please, 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 If you know somebody who is interested or wants to get in touch with these guys, please share this video with them. I would love to have help them out in getting some more clientele in here and getting some more foot traffic and get that stuff taken care of. I will put their contact information in the description below. That way we have all of that information for you guys there that you can do it. If you have any questions about anything on this video or anything in particular, put it in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys there. And also I can get it in touch with these two. And again, if you would, please go ahead and tune in next week because we'll have another episode of Local Legends at the Flint Hills. Stephen and Melissa, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, thanks guys. Thank you for watching.